Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to another Divine RPM racing video. Today we're in Auckland with an Aston Martin DB9. Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are in a completely different car than usual. We're in an Aston Martin DB9. Pretty crazy in Auckland. So I'm in New Zealand today. I'm here for work. My work is completely unrelated to cars. Now I am in an Aston Martin DB9. Pretty crazy, right? I can't look wherever I go. I can't be without cars. I need a ride with me, and I obviously wanted to get something which was a lot nicer than just a normal Toyota Corolla arrangement. So I got a DB9. I searched what was available. There were a lot of cars available. There was a BMW i8, which I thought, going from Beamer to Beamer, that'd be cool to experience. There was a Corvette C8, that was really cool as well. There's also GDR, Lambos, but then I saw the DB9 and I was like, you know what? When's the next time or chance I'll get to drive an Aston? Because personally, I'd never buy one. I'm not that huge a fan of an Aston Martins, but they are very, very iconic cars. So I thought, why not put myself in the DB9 and yeah, drive around Auckland. So the plan is I'm in Auckland today, and over the weekend we're doing a road trip to Taupo and Rotorua and all those things. So it'll be a really beautiful drive. The weather's going to be great. It's going to be really fun. So especially in a car like this, I feel like in a car like this, that type of scenery in Auckland just goes so well. It's a beautiful car. It's that classic Aston Martin James Bond color. So it's great. So a little bit about this car. The car is a Aston Martin DB9. It's a 2014. So obviously it's rental. I didn't buy one. I don't think I could afford one. I don't think I'd want to buy one. Like I said, I would spend my money on other cars. But yeah, so this is actually a rear-wheel drive ZF automatic 6-speed V12 engine car. So that is right. It's a front engine V12, 6-liter V12. It's 5.9, but on the engine cover itself it says 6-liter. And yeah, it's pretty quick. It's definitely not as quick as the Beamer, the M3, but it's still pretty quick for what it is. It is pretty quick. It's pretty look at the power delivery is a bit different because it's NA, right? With boost on the F80 M3, that's tuned as well. Like the boost comes in really hard. This thing is just like, it's like kind of creeps up and then it's torque. So I think there's a lot of electronics as well in this car with traction and everything. So it does limit a lot of things because it's very torquey. Just that 6-liter V12 sending it straight to the rear wheels. So on takeoff and stuff, if I put my foot down, even with traction on, it will spin, it will cut power. So if you get a good launch or good takeoff, from a roll, it's pretty quick. Like you roll on and then you gun your foot down, it goes. So it's pretty good. I guess the rest, this video is just me driving the car. We'll see what we'd use this footage for, I guess. But yeah, I want to take you guys for a drive. So I'm just driving from, for the Auckland people, I'm driving from Highbrook to Mangere. So we've got a site in Mangere, so I was there most of the time, and I came to visit our Highbrook site over here. Yeah, so I have driven in New Zealand before. I used to live in New Zealand actually, so a bit of backstory. I used to live in New Zealand in 2001 or 2007. I was born 2000, so I was born in Australia, in Sydney, and then we moved to New Zealand, lived here for a bit, and then came back to Sydney. And I've been a couple times. So I was here last year, I believe, 2023 I was here. I was here for a concert and a bit of traveling as well, driving as well. We went to Taupo as well. And that time I had a G20 320i M Sport. So not very quick, and not as quick as this thing, but still a very nice car to drive, very sporty. And you know how Beamers are, especially the M Sports, all Beamers handle really well. And they've got that sporty feel. And I think that's what, I'm going to start with the complaint of this car first. That's what this car is missing. It is a very huge car. It's very powerful. It's a V12. It's an Aston, British engine, British car. But yeah, it is pretty. It's just not giving me that factor that, oh yeah, this is crazy. This is quite quick. This is a nice car. it's just not giving me that. And I feel like it really should be giving me that. And I don't really understand why I'm not getting that. Because it has all the features. It's got the adaptive suspension, it's got sport mode, it's got traction off and all that. But I just don't get what's going on. Sorry, a bit of confusion in driving. I went the wrong way, but that's fine. Just passing a truck. Don't overtake while turning. And I did just, oh look, we're going on the motorway. I'll just give you an understanding. So sport mode, we'll put it in manual mode. There we go. This is third gear, second gear, go. Pretty quick, but it's just not the look, it is quick, but for me it doesn't have that really sporty feel, if you get what I'm saying. Put it back in drive, but still it is a very, very fun car, very fun to drive, it is not a sports car, it's definitely an exotic kind of luxury car, I would say, because again, like I was saying, it doesn't have that BMW characteristic where you feel like the car is gripping up really well, it handles extremely well, you can throw it into corners, the feedback is great, like the pedal feedback is different on the sport mode, so I think there's like a 35mm or 25mm difference in the throw from sport mode to normal because the sensitivity changes. But yeah, I just keep comparing it to other people and like to myself as well a lot, that it's not the same as my F80 M3, and my F83 is a 2016, this is a 2014, but you think like it's an Aston, it should handle like this, should handle like that, but the DB9, and this is a 2014, so it's a facelift DB9, it's missing that really sporty and handling characteristic which BMWs have, and not just an F80 but other BMWs too, like my 320 wagon and the G20 as well that I drove in Auckland 2 years ago. Yeah, it doesn't go into the corners. I can't take turns well. It's a really long wheelbase and it's wide it's really wide.
Red light camera ahead.
Red light camera ahead. And yeah, it just doesn't have that. And like when I first got the day I got the car, so I had it for 3 days now. Thursday, Friday, 2 days, sorry. I had it for 2 days now. And yeah, on Thursday I was low-key disappointed. I was like, damn, I really got this car and now I'm gonna drive this car all the way through Taupo and all that, and which is about a 3.5 hour drive to where we're going that whole trip. And I was like, did I make the right choice? Like my other friends that have landed today, they've got an AMG GT, the coupe. I thought, did I make the right choice? Like maybe an AMG GT would feel a lot better and sportier. As a Raptor goes flying past. Anyway, yeah, I felt like, did I make the right call in choosing the right car for this trip? And then I didn't drive the car much yesterday during the day because I picked it up early morning and drove straight to work, and I didn't drive it throughout work. But then I went home to the hotel where I was staying, and then I went out at night to this boat ramp. And shout out to my co-worker, the New Zealand country manager. He recommended to me, I asked him, what's some cool spots for photos and all. He said definitely go to this, I think it was Birkenbridge boat ramp, and he said, yeah, go for that, it's a really good spot. I went there and the photos are amazing. What a view. You have the Harbour Bridge, Auckland Harbour Bridge, and the Centrepoint Tower, the Auckland Tower, Sky Tower. That was so good. And I went there around at like 11:45, 12, and the sun, there's not the sun, the lights, all the lights were so beautiful on a Thursday night, and there wasn't many people, which was great. And yeah, after that I drove around a lot because I had to drive from Mangere to that side, which is the Birken something boat ramp, and then I drove towards the viaduct. So I went through the city, around the viaduct, I went along the harbour, so the port. So that was all really nice and cool, driving around in the city. That was really nice in this car. And then the highways, then I actually I was a lot more confident with the car, and then I started giving it a bit through the corners on the motorway, seeing how fast it can go, how is it like. then I started liking the car. Then I'm like, you know what? I did make the right call. This is not my F80, and my F80, I abuse that thing because it can take it, and it's made to take that. It's got so much torque, it's got so much power. Like, I got to use it. But this car, it's more like, I got the power, I've got the torque, but I'm a luxury, I'm a nice exotic. I will kind of claim this as like a mild exotic. It's V12, it's got those characteristics. It doesn't have to be a hypercar, but it's got that characteristics where, like, it's rear-wheel drive. It's an Aston Martin. It's got the iconic James Bond color. It's 6-liter V12, which is I think outputting around 500 horsepower. So a bit similar to my F80, but it does feel slower. It does feel a lot slower, not a lot, but like maybe like 25% slower than the M3, which either means my M3 is a lot faster than I realized, or this thing is actually a lot slower than 500 horsepower. But yeah, moving on from that, look, yeah, I realized last night I went for a long drive and I came home like 2 a.m, and then went to work the same day, which is today. It's great. It is a good choice, and I feel like I really made the right call. Why not have an Aston Martin in Auckland? And the best part hasn't happened yet. The best part is tomorrow, when we go for those really beautiful roads, and all the locals, all the local workers and everyone around in Auckland has told me that, yeah, man, you picked the right choice, you picked the right car, and that drive towards Taupo and all that, you will absolutely love it, and the weather's going to be great. So I'm really keen on driving this thing all around there. And then even today when I drove from Mangere to Highbrook, like, it wasn't that much traffic. It was just after, it was around midday, and yeah, it was just brilliant. Like, honestly, even it was like minimal traffic, so you get a bit of overtaking here and there, and you can go a bit faster than the others, and it's still pretty clear. And the sun was out, the weather was good, and it was amazing. It was really good. So yeah, unfortunately it is 3:20 right now, so I just left a bit late towards. I left Auckland. I left Mangere. I left Highbrook. I left Highbrook a bit later than expected, so I got to go back to Mangere and finish up there. Yeah, so I'm in some school traffic. I'm sure I'll get some work traffic too, but I should be there in apparently 22 minutes, so we should be fine. I'm using Waze around here because I have not seen much. I haven't seen many speed cameras. Signs for speed cameras, and especially red lights. So I wasn't using Waze until last night at a light, and I stopped at the light because I wanted to go on the highway. So I'm like, oh, let me put Waze on to see if there's any cameras on the highway, right? And then what happened was I was stopped at a red light, and I pulled the Waze out. I started Waze, and immediately the next light in front of me was a red light camera. So I was like, oh, I saved my ass there, and I could have just run it because the whole street was empty. I would have run it because I get a bit impatient. And just like Japan, man, these lights take forever. Not as long as Japan, but they still do take a while. And I feel like the pressure point is really high up ahead. It's not, in Sydney, it's a bit below the actual light. You got to drive really close up front, and then it will go. So, but look, other than that, I'm just gonna drive the car. You'll see how we go. I'll chit chat here and there about the Aston. The specs, I'll add it into the video. Oh, I should have gone left there apparently, but let's see, that's okay. But yeah, look, things have been going great, I guess. This car will be great. You'll see more of this car driving around and all that. I took some videos and photos, so I just want to make this. I wanted to use a motorway, but there's a lot of traffic on the motorway, so it took me off the motorway. And yeah, we're going to go through the streets of Auckland from Highbrook to Mangere, and I guess you're here for the ride. Enjoy. I am in sport mode, so I've been in sport mode since I started. I'm in sport mode and adaptive suspension. Traction control is here. We've also got an Aston Martin pen, which is pretty cool. And you also saw how I started the car. It's like a insert into the middle there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, the controls, unfortunately no CarPlay. That is an older car. My Beamer doesn't have CarPlay, if you want to compare. No Bluetooth audio as well, so I got to use what's it called? The aux. So I've got the aux to USB-C conversion, which the rental company had provided as well, which was great. And yeah, the maps are outdated, so that's why I need to use my phone maps, because the car maps are outdated, if you can see. There you go. And it's a bit hard to use because it's not touchscreen. It's just dial. You got to type everything with the dial. So I said I'll just use my phone maps. That's okay. But it's cool to have the map. You know, it's like us. You know, you think a lot of days, a lot of dudes. I mean, a lot of girls as well. A lot of people, I would say, you know, they'd like to drive with maps because when they're growing up, you know, we all played Need for Speed and Midnight Club and all those games with a mini map, GTA as well. So it's always fun. Like I always need a mini map. I love having a mini map display there. So I've got my phone here on Waze, and I've also got the mini map there, which shows me what. So that was the mini map was useful for yesterday for Viaduct, because once I got to the map to the Viaduct, I just had the mini map open to see where I could go around the harbour and around the city centre as well. So that was great. Oh, lots of traffic. Yeah, I don't know how long this will be. Hopefully I get to work sooner than later. Yeah, this is just my luck. Every time I pull the GoPro out, there's just so much traffic. But yeah, man. Another thing is the gear selector. You can see there's no gear selector. That's because it's all up here. It's probably all in electronics, so the gearbox is probably there. They've got no shifter lever, and they've probably just got electronics mapped to the gearbox, because it would be stupid to think that this is connected straight to the gearbox. So probably some connections there, or like, you know, off the ECU it's a button. We've got park, reverse, engine start, so you push the key in neutral and drive. So if you put it in drive, it's just in drive. To activate manual mode, you just press the pedals. Now you're in, you press the paddles, sorry, and you're in manual mode. Or you can even go into neutral. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So if you downshift, it goes into neutral. We'll try that again. Oh, not really. Is there a car stopped in front of me? Oh no, it becomes one lane. Yeah, so and then once you're done with driving in with the paddles in manual mode, press drive again and you're back in normal mode. Sport mode's here, so that's out of sport. It is pretty lazy in normal mode, and it's just like a cruiser, and the exhaust valves close as well, so I don't like that. So I do prefer to have it a bit more sporty, a bit more punchy, but because the sound is there as well, because I really love the sound. The suspension as well, I don't like the normal adaptive suspension, right? The normal mode, I don't really like it. I feel like it's too floaty and too boaty. This car doesn't really feel like boat, so I always keep it in the sport mode, so it's a bit more stiff. I prefer stiff suspension. I was saying this to my mum, you know, I like to take myself wherever I go. What that means is, you know, if I'm traveling stuff, I like to have a car, some cool car with me. I need to have like a racy car, a fun car with me, and like that's like my therapy, you know. Like, that's my need, you know. I can do whatever I need to do in life and work and whatever, but you got to give me a car, you know. That's why I like. And my hotel, mind you, my hotel is only 10 minutes away from the Mangere site, so the main site. So before the car was walking to work, and then someone will drop me back because it's dangerous at night. Yeah, so I didn't need a car, but then, you know, I need something afterwards, because we finish around 5:30, come back, and it's still a bit early. For me, that's like early. Like I need to do something with my time, and you know, I love driving, so I got the car. So it's cool to have something like this, and I'm staying the weekend, so why not get something great instead of a boring rental? And I feel like this car is gonna be just so beautiful in those really scenic places in New Zealand. So I'm really keen for that over the weekend. And you know what as well, right? Like, because this car for me, like, it's got two feelings, two vibes, right? James Bond, of course, that's a natural, but even more so, I feel like this car's got big Need for Speed vibes. And I know everything will be like, oh no, it's not, what do you mean? And I know I'm not talking about underground, I'm not talking about the street Need for Speed. Trust me, I do love the street Need for Speed more than anything, but this really reminds me of, like, you know, me growing up in the mid-teens, like Need for Speed 2012, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed Rivals even, and Undercover sometimes as well. Like, it gives me that feeling where it's like when Need for Speed stepped into that exotic kind of realm of using stock cars, using supercars, and like you versus cops in a really scenic area, Seacrest County, and all those things. Like especially Hot Pursuit. This car gives me huge Hot Pursuit vibes. So yeah, that's another thing. If you would have seen that, yeah, Auckland. There's a lot of how can I say, crackheads. I had my first crackhead encounter yesterday. Just depends on the area. So on the way to the city yesterday, I stopped near my hotel. There's a convenience store. I need to buy toothpaste, and I couldn't find parking, so I parked a bit into the car park nearby. And I was just there in the car park, and then I parked up the car, parked away from everyone, took my seatbelt off, and mind you, I was still close by to the store, but apart away from the other cars, just an empty spot. And then I took my belt off, and then I had a long coat on, so I was just trying to find my wallet, and then my phone was on this side as well, so I reached over to my phone. And I didn't even see there was like a literal crackhead just coming close to the car, and he started knocking on the window. And I was like, dude, what the f-? Then he's like, is this your car? Is this your car? And obviously I'm not gonna say no. I'm like, yeah, this is my car. And then he's like, can you help me? Please help me? I need this, I need that. And he was like struggling to light up a cigarette, and he was all shaky. You could see he's definitely on something. He looked pretty young as well, which is sad. But then I thought, this. I didn't even get out. I just turned the car back on and drove straight to the city, and then there was a convenience store there where I got toothpaste. So yeah, it's that was an experience. And like I saw just then, there's people asking for money. You see the car, they think you got money, but they don't know it's a rental, and I'm struggling to finish off all my cars. But yeah, this moment is like I needed this moment. I needed an Aston Martin. And I've never driven an Aston Martin before, and that's what I said. Like, I think there's no better country to try an Aston Martin than Auckland. Yeah, okay, UK is there, but like UK, and that's pretty far. But like, Auckland is a beautiful place, and I think it's perfect for an Aston Martin. And not just Auckland, New Zealand as a whole is a beautiful place. There's a lot of scenic places. So as we're doing a scenic drive and staying in a scenic area, so we're gonna go to Rotorua and then to Taupo, and then we're gonna stay in between. It's gonna be beautiful with this car. It's gonna be great. The drive. With the AMG GT as well, those two iconic cars, it's going to be awesome. This guy doesn't know the size of his car and can't go straight. He can clearly fit, but he thinks there's not enough space. Like, there's definitely enough space, you can just go, but they're so confused. Dude, go! There's space. There's so much space in your lane, and she's hogging on the right side. Oh my days. Can you hurry up, please? Lady, there's so much space. Please go. Hey, look. There was so much space. Why don't you just go? Anyway, that's fine. This is me being frustrated. I'm not like saying I'm frustrated because it's Auckland. People in Sydney are just as bad as everyone here. Sydney drivers are shit as well. One complaint I have, and I did see a video on it as well, the paddle shifters are column mounted, not steering mounted. So if you are in some sporty corners and you want to be in manual mode, being like, maybe 45 degrees turn, the paddle shifters are not here, the paddle shifters are here. So it is a bit weird. You gotta one hand and go like this, and one hand and go like that. But look, it's okay. It's not a extremely sporty car. It's not a race car for sure. I would like to say the F8 is pretty close to an actual race car where you can like track car or trackable car where you can drive a lot in a lot of areas. But yeah, definitely not the Aston. It's more luxury, exotic. But yeah, in Auckland, in probably New Zealand as well, you see a lot of Auckland has got a lot of JDM cars, because they had their market had received all of the Japanese spec cars. So you see a lot of there's a lot of cool cars here. There's a lot of chasers, a lot of modified cars here, because I feel like it's more easily accessible to these guys than back home, and it's not as expensive as well. They have a lot of Accords, Euro R's. There's more Euro R's than CL9s. Like there's more CL7s and Euro R's than CL9 Accords, so they're pretty cool as well. And they're like common, they're not like something rare. They're pretty cheap as well over here. yeah, definitely a lot of cool cars here. I haven't had the chance to car spot because I've been driving and working, but there have been a lot of cool cars. Today I saw a Porsche. I took a photo of that. You can see that there. Pretty nice Porsche at Highbrook when I had some lunch. But yeah, there's a fair amount of modified cars here. People are very respectful here. The people who are not on something, they treat you with a lot of kind and respect, which is something I appreciate a lot. Wherever you go, everyone's open to talk. Everyone's really nice to meet you and speak to you. So that's all that matters, right? You got to be a good person and show respect to others. It's been very cold here in Auckland, and today it's just warmed up to 15, 16 degrees, and the sun is out. It's been really cold here in Auckland. Like I'm talking about not above 10 degrees. At night, last night when I went out with this car, it was 5 degrees everywhere. It was super cold. And it's really harsh. The cold is really harsh, but personally I love cold. I prefer cold way over heat, which is why I get so agitated when there's heat. Honestly, these AC dials are so weird to operate. Bloody British can't make anything simple. You gotta always go and complicate things and add their own shit to it. What is this? Oh, that's the light. How do I control the AC temperature? Oh, here we go. Yep. And then turn it up. There we go. Yep. It's not coming out of these vents. Why? Why not? Why not? Hello? Dude, why is it so complicated? It's coming from there. I'm really trying to figure this AC out. Come on. Oh, okay, there you go. Alright. Almost at half tank already. No. What's the fuel like? 17.9 liters per 100 k's. What the? That's gotta be bullshit. Apparently I'm going right up here. Let's see. Jaldi. Please don't be traffic, but I feel like there's traffic. Oh no, it's clear. It's a bit clear. Oh, never mind. It's not that clear. It's definitely not clear. So this must be the west, and west must be back that way. So we're going towards airport, so which is probably not west. There's an Accord behind me. There's a CO9 behind me. Let's go. It's my daily driver. Okay, well, there's slow drivers. Oh yeah, there is some traffic over there. Yep, I jinxed it. There is traffic. Can't tell if it's a. I think it is a CO9, not a Euro R. They also have Type S here. They have the Accord Type S. I saw that because I checked Marketplace as well over here, and there was a Type S part out. So that was interesting. I don't know what's in the Type S, like what's different, but yeah, there was a CL9 Type S or CL7 whatever Type S. Whoa. That is not a WRX. Thought it was. A G4 on it. What the fuck that means? What is that? Subaru all-wheel drive G4. Okay. It just looks like a normal Impreza. Alright, we're off the motorway. Manual mode. First key. Brakes, downshift, third gear. And foot down. Brakes, downshift. Look, it's fun. It is pretty fun, but you need to have a lot of open space. I think this car is not great for tight corners and tight curves. You've got to really fight, and the paddle shift it's really made for like flowing, longer, high-speed corners, not really sharp stuff. Like nothing like Nashua and all that. This car would be horrible. But the sound is great, man. This V12 sound. Look, I saw a comment and I agree. Like, it is a V12. It sounds great. It doesn't scream like a Ferrari V12. That's what you want. Like, it doesn't do that. But I haven't had the chance, to properly open it up and listen to it because there's a lot of traffic. Hopefully on the drive tomorrow there'll be a lot of chance to open it up. A nice backdrop, a lot of echo with no other traffic and cars on the road, and probably get the GoPro, the Insta 360 on the back as well, so we can capture some sound. I've got a mic as well, so we won't mic up the V12 as well, hit that induction. The V12 must sound insane. I'll show you the engine, but I'll show you the car as well. All of that, don't worry. I will go around the car as well and make a video on that. Currently 3 minutes away, great. Put it back in drive. Aston Martin DB9 V12, 6 litre V12, 3-wheel drive, ZF 6-speed auto. I know where to go, thanks. I know where to go, I haven't driven with traction off yet, and I don't think I will do a lot of that because it already breaks traction.